In Japan, there exists a concept that has no direct translation in Western languages, yet it captures something deeply universal. Yugiri, it describes the ethereal moment when day transforms into dusk, that brief window of time when the sky holds both light and shadow. But Yugiri represents more than just this transitional hour. It's a metaphor for a life that doesn't seek greatness in conventional ways. Instead, it invites us to pause to witness the extraordinary in ordinary moments and to find fulfillment in what's already present in our lives. This appreciation for life's transitional moments connects to a broader philosophy about finding contentment in simplicity rather than constant achievement. Throughout time, philosophers have contemplated what constitutes a meaningful existence. While some argued that fulfillment comes from constant progress and reaching new heights, others discovered a different path, one focused less on ambition and more on present moment awareness. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video. You can help me continue to spread these Japanese ancient wisdom lessons. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. And don't forget to comment your thoughts about what we are discussing. One of these thinkers was Seneca, a philosopher from ancient Rome. Seneca believed that contentment wasn't found in wealth status or recognition. In fact, he observed that these pursuits often brought more anxiety than satisfaction. Instead, he taught that true peace comes from living a deliberate life where we savor simple daily experiences, meaningful conversations, moments of reflection, and the natural rhythm of each day. Seneca believed that most of our suffering stems from endless wanting. When we're constantly pursuing grander ambitions, contentment remains elusive. We tell ourselves, "I'll be happy when I achieve that goal," or "I'll feel complete when I reach that milestone." Yet once we attain one objective, we immediately set our sights on another, and the cycle persists. We rarely stop to appreciate our current circumstances. Seneca proposed that the key to fulfillment lies in learning to be satisfied with less. He argued that if we can discover joy in the fundamentals, a walk in nature, a moment of solitude, we won't need to chase after increasingly grand achievements. This doesn't suggest abandoning all aspirations, but rather focusing on what genuinely brings us peace instead of what society dictates we should want. And this brings us back to Yugure. That transitional moment isn't trying to be anything more than what it is. Yet in its simplicity, it offers profound tranquility to those who pause to observe it. This concept of finding contentment in simplicity is masterfully portrayed in the film Perfect Days, a 2023 work directed by Wim Wenders. The story follows Hirayama, a toilet cleaner in Tokyo. At first glance, his existence seems unremarkable. He rises early, tends to his work maintaining public facilities, and returns to his modest apartment each evening. There's nothing particularly extraordinary about his routine, yet, as the narrative unfolds, we discover that Hirayama's life is rich with subtle moments of joy. Hirayama's days are uncomplicated, yet he discovers beauty in the smallest details. The rhythm of his favorite music, the gentle care of his plants, and the quiet observations of the world passing by. He doesn't seek wealth or recognition to find happiness. His contentment comes from embracing what many might overlook, the ordinary aspects of daily existence that most of us rush past without noticing. One of the most poignant scenes in the film captures Hirayama as he observes the fading light of dusk, a real-life Yugera moment. As he stands there, absorbing the beauty of this transitional hour, we witness someone fully immersed in the present moment. He's not dwelling on past events or anxious about future concerns. He's simply there, experiencing the world as it unfolds. This scene powerfully illustrates the beauty that surrounds us when we take time to notice it. Hirayama doesn't require grand adventures or constant excitement to find fulfillment. His joy emerges from the quiet, simple moments that constitute his daily life. As we observe Hirayama moving through his day, we begin to understand that fulfillment doesn't need to come from constant striving or the pursuit of lofty goals. Instead, it can be discovered in the quiet patterns of daily existence. There's a profound peace that comes from accepting life exactly as it is, rather than constantly yearning for something more. One of the most striking aspects of Hirayama's life in Perfect Days is the depth of meaning he finds in his everyday routine. His work maintaining public facilities might seem mundane or even beneath notice to many, but Hirayama approaches each task with dedication and mindfulness. He doesn't rush through his responsibilities or treat them as insignificant. Instead, he takes pride in his craftsmanship, ensuring everything meets his high standards. There's an unmistakable dignity in how Hirayama performs his duties. He seeks neither acclaim nor recognition, finding satisfaction simply in doing his work well. This is a lesson we can all apply, regardless of our profession. Whether our work is considered prestigious or modest, there's inherent value in approaching it with care and attention. Hirayama's approach reminds us that meaning doesn't require grand achievements. It can emerge from how we handle even the smallest tasks, whether we're cleaning, cooking, or going about our daily activities. There's a deep sense of purpose that comes from doing things mindfully. In this way, Perfect Days reveals that a simple life isn't lacking in depth. This perspective aligns with the teachings of Zen master Dogen, who wrote about the importance of finding enlightenment in everyday activities. Dogen believed that, instead of seeking extraordinary experiences, we should learn to recognize the sacred in the ordinary, to find profound meaning in simple acts like washing dishes or sweeping floors. This philosophy is exemplified in Hirayama's life. He doesn't resist his circumstances or yearn for something different. Instead, he embraces his routine, finding peace in daily rituals. In our contemporary world, imagining a life like Hirayama's can seem challenging. We're constantly pressured to pursue more, achieve more, become more. From our earliest years, we're conditioned to believe that success means continuously striving for bigger goals, whether that's pursuing career advancement, upgrading to a larger home, or reaching the next milestone in our personal or professional journey. Social media, advertising, and our broader culture can make us feel like we're never doing enough, like we should always be pushing towards something bigger. But what Perfect Days illustrates, and what philosophers have been teaching for generations, is that this relentless pressure to achieve can actually prevent us from experiencing contentment. When we're always focused on the next goal, we miss the richness of the present moment. We're constantly thinking about what's next, rather than appreciating what we have right now. This mindset leads to chronic stress, exhaustion, and a persistent sense of inadequacy. No matter how much we accomplish, it never feels sufficient. We're always reaching for more. Yet that feeling of completeness remains just beyond our grasp. Seneca warned against this perpetual striving, believing that true contentment comes not from acquiring more, but from learning to be satisfied with what we possess. Seneca taught that once our fundamental needs are met, shelter, sustenance, and human connection, anything beyond becomes largely unnecessary. In fact, he observed that the more we pursue excess and luxury, the more likely we are to experience dissatisfaction. His insights are particularly relevant today, when we're bombarded with messages telling us we need more achievements, more possessions, more status. But by embracing his philosophy, we can learn to release this constant craving and focus instead on life's simple pleasures. As we consider the concept of yugure, the art of simple living, and Hirayama's story in Perfect Days, it becomes evident that happiness need not come from ambition or achievement. It can emerge from something far simpler, being present in each moment, finding joy in daily routines, and embracing the beauty in ordinary experiences. Hirayama's life in Perfect Days reminds us that we don't need to constantly chase bigger and better things to find meaning. By focusing on the present, finding beauty in our routines, and embracing the ordinary, we can live a life just as rich and meaningful as any other. Perhaps the greatest achievement isn't reaching the pinnacle of success, but finding peace exactly where we are. Maybe true contentment comes from learning to appreciate the fading light of dusk, the quiet moments of stillness, and the simple pleasures that fill our everyday lives. If you have watched until the end, I'm sure you'll also enjoy my last video that is appearing on your screen now. See you next time.